My girlfriend treats me as a stand-in for her first love. I've been with Mary for 4 years, but she has never truly cared for me. She only sees me as a substitute for her first love. Her private moments are filled entirely with photos of her and her first love. The wedding day is approaching, and I even saw the messages on her phone, all sent to her first love. I'm getting married. Do you regret it? If you regret it, then hurry back. As long as you come back, I can replace the groom with you. After seeing what was on Mary's phone, Harry really came back. The day he came back, Mary and I were having our engagement party. He walked over step by step in a white suit, very striking. He came over and directly knocked over the champagne tower on the table. The sound of shattering glass caught everyone's attention. He glanced at me, then looked at Mary with a smirk. Is this your fiancé? Poor taste. As soon as he said this, the once festive and lively atmosphere fell silent. Mary and I tightened our intertwined fingers even more. She chuckled softly. I think I have pretty good taste, at least George listens to me. When she said the last sentence, she deliberately emphasized her tone. Anyone could tell she said it on purpose to annoy Harry. Sure enough, Harry's expression gradually darkened. Mary continued, Our wedding is on the 10th of next month. You're welcome to come. Harry's face completely darkened, and he clenched his fists tightly. In the end, he said nothing and left the scene in anger. He got into the sports car at the door, stepped on the gas, and with a rumble, sped away. It seemed like he wanted to use this way to tell Mary that he was angry. After he left, the atmosphere at the scene did not ease. The smile on Mary's face suddenly disappeared. No one present dared to speak. The next second, with a bang, Mary overturned the engagement table. Afterwards, her eyes scanned the room and finally settled on me. Everyone get out. The engagement party is off today. This engagement party was completely ruined. From beginning to end, she never cared about my feelings. 5 years ago, Mary and I were still in high school. At that time, she was still with Harry. She loved him desperately too. She was willing to fall out with her family and give up inheriting the family fortune for him. She gave up her own musical dreams just to attend the same university as him. Everyone thought they would end up together as lovers. But after the college entrance exam, Harry went abroad for his dream. Because of this, Mary hated Harry so much that she got together with me out of spite. All the friends around knew that I was just a tool Mary used to get back at Harry. She didn't really love me. After all, back in high school, Harry disliked me the most. I will never forget, at one of Mary's birthday parties, one of her male friends was secretly talking in the bathroom. Everyone knows that Mary has always had Harry in her heart. Today is her birthday, and Harry didn't come back. She's been drinking there to drown her sorrows. The engagement party ended abruptly, and Mary never gave me an explanation, nor has she come back even once these days. As her fiancé, I don't even have the right to ask where she has gone, even though we are about to get married. After all, I have always owed her. She helped me repay my student loan. She helped me find my job. Even my life was saved by her. So I have no right. Even if she does something out of line, I have no right to question her. I looked at the clock on the wall. It was already midnight. I thought Mary wouldn't come back, so I was about to go upstairs to get ready for bed. But the next second, the door lock clicked open. Her face showed a hint of fatigue as she casually placed the car keys on the coffee table. Then she softened her tone towards me. Honey, can you give me a massage? Her tone was as natural as usual. It made me feel a bit dazed. I was so dazed that I thought I had misread her losing her temper because of Harry at the engagement party. I was so dazed that I thought the person who told me to get lost wasn't her. Even so, I couldn't refuse her request. I walked over, placed my large hand on her shoulder, and began massaging it rhythmically. After a moment of hesitation, she suddenly turned around and wrapped her arms around my neck, looking at me with deep affection. Husband, of course, I knew what she wanted to do. She was the only woman in my life. She was the only one in my heart, and I carried her upstairs. Looking at her face, I remembered how she stood up for me when I was mocked by classmates for my poor family background. Gradually, her cheeks' contours overlapped with that moment. The next second, she touched the scar on my arm and suddenly paused. She and I both know. That was when we were in high school. Harry burned it with a cigarette butt. In high school, I had a very good friend. She was Mary, from a wealthy and influential family. During that time, She got very close to me, a poor guy. Everyone was gossiping, saying that someone from my background didn't deserve to be with her. Mary would always retort, "What background? Ridiculous. It's the first time I've heard that you need to consider someone's background when making friends. Do you think this is a matchmaking event?" At that moment, Mary became a ray of light in my eyes. She would let me use her expensive computer and phone, afraid of hurting my self-esteem, so she told me she didn't like me anymore. She would also study with me, discussing problems every day. At that time, a bold idea grew in my heart, and that was to confess to Mary. But before I could confess, Harry transferred to our school. Harry's family was also very wealthy. He dressed fashionably and had a free-spirited personality. He was my former middle school classmate and also someone who had bullied me. But in this new place, no one knew his true nature. Everyone just thought he was a good person because he looked handsome. Many female classmates liked him, including Mary. She devoted her whole heart to Harry and stopped looking for me. Until one day we ran into each other, and she excitedly told me that she had someone she liked. I'm really happy being with Harry. He took me to play escape rooms, took me to amusement parks. Those were really fun. "George, my birthday is next week. You can come, and then we can go out and have fun together." Her words made me silent for a very long time. But in the end, I still went to her birthday party. I thought I would congratulate her and then leave. But Harry never intended to let me off. He had long planned to deal with me. While Mary was playing cards with her friends, he took people and dragged me to the private room next door. I was tied up, and he kept pressing a burning cigarette butt against my arm, all the while snarling, "Someone like you doesn't deserve to be with Mary. You'll be nothing but a rat in the gutter for the rest of your life." Mary left again early in the morning. Looking at this empty home, I had long since gotten used to it. I went to the hospital alone. "Have you engaged in any self-harm recently?" The doctor asked me while looking at the test report. The results still said, severe depression. I started feeling depressed back in middle school. At that time, my dad had died, and my mom found me a stepdad who was a gambler. Every weekend, behind my mom's back, my stepdad made me do hard labor at a nearby factory to earn money for his gambling. If I didn't listen, he would hit me. This caused me to be unable to finish my homework. Every time, the teacher would meet with the parents. Once, I asked the teacher to call my mom, and only then did I dare to tell her. I was forced by my stepdad to do heavy labor, so I didn't have time to do my homework. But my mom wouldn't listen at all. She just kept telling the teacher that she would teach me well at home, and that I would definitely do my homework in the future. Then my mom pulled me away. It was raining heavily that day. My mom and I were waiting at the bus stop for the rain to stop. I kept talking to my mom about doing heavy labor. She didn't look at me once, suddenly speaking coldly. "Your uncle and I are already married, and you are his son too. What's wrong with earning some money for him to spend?" At that moment, I finally understood. She is also my stepdad's accomplice. No wonder she says she has to go to work every day, but never brings home a paycheck each month. No wonder the marks from being beaten on my body are so obvious, yet she doesn't see them. At school, I still have to be beaten by Harry. Slowly, it felt like there was a little person living inside my heart. He told me that I should go die, that dying would be a relief. My nervous system felt like it was being controlled by someone else, making it impossible for me to be happy again. Coming back to my senses, I touched the scars one after another on my pant leg, not knowing how to explain it to the doctor. My attending doctor knows me very well. He noticed my movements at a glance. "You can't keep doing this. How about telling your wife? Let her help guide you and lead you out of this predicament. I remember you told me that you love your wife very much. But what's the use of telling Mary? Would she think that I'm lying to gain her sympathy? After all, I've disguised myself so well all these years. Always happy in front of her. Back home, it was still empty with no one around. It felt like a heavy stone was pressing down on my heart, making me feel suffocated. I didn't deliberately hide the fact that I have depression from Mary. My test report is kept in the drawer by our bedside. It's just that she doesn't come home often, so she hasn't opened it to look. My medicine is placed under the coffee table. She has never noticed it either. Actually, it's not surprising. Maybe to her, I'm just a substitute. I adjusted my mood and went to cook. Just as I finished, Mary came back. "Honey, what did you make? It smells so good." She put down her bag as she spoke. She walked over and naturally sat down beside me. These are all your favorite foods, I said, my left hand tightly clutching the medical report in my pocket. I was hesitating, wondering whether to tell her. She seemed to notice my mood. She put down her chopsticks and pulled me to face her. Honey, what's wrong? Mary, I mustered up the courage and took out that page of the report. But before I could give it to her, a phone suddenly rang. It was Mary's. She let go of what I was pulling out, and I saw the name Harry flashing on the screen. She answered quickly. I didn't know what was said on the other end. The gentle expression on her face just now was instantly stripped away, replaced by a look of panic. She suddenly stood up, the chair scraping loudly as it was pulled back. Then I grabbed my bag and rushed out the door. She didn't leave me a single word. Just left like that. The report in my hand also fell to the ground. I took a long time to calm down before picking up that slip of paper, tearing it to pieces, and throwing it into the trash can. It has been a week since Mary left that day, and she hasn't come back. I don't know what happened to Harry that made her so panicked. I called her, but no one answered. I kept calling, and she kept hanging up on me, until finally she just turned off her phone. She had never hung up on my calls before. Even when she was very busy with work, she would tell me she was busy. Later, it was her friend who told me that Harry had attempted suicide. He cut his wrist, but the wound was shallow, only breaking the skin, nothing serious. The doctor said it was most likely depression. Mary has been taking care of him at the hospital these days. This also explains why she hung up on my call. Harry needs to rest quietly. She definitely can't let the ringtone disturb him. But what about me? I was just a substitute before, and now that Harry is back, even if she wants to reconcile with him, she should at least inform me. I am human too, and I have feelings. So I went to the hospital to find Mary. When I arrived, I only saw Harry lying in the hospital bed. Seeing me, his originally calm face was stained with anger. You can't marry Mary, she's mine. Give Mary back to me. He shouted with all his might, the corners of his eyes reddening. I don't understand. Clearly, at the engagement party, he was still that arrogant. How did it suddenly become such a miserable scene? Before I could say anything, someone yanked me hard. I turned around and saw it was Mary. She pulled me outside the ward before speaking. Harry has depression, don't provoke him. He almost died before. Her face was full of pain. It made me feel that my existence was so ridiculous. Mary, let's break up. As soon as she heard this, she suddenly looked up. What did you say? I calmly continued. I said we should break up, so you can be with Harry and have the energy to accompany him properly. There was a hint of surprise in her eyes. It seemed she didn't expect someone as gentle as me to say something like that. Don't make a fuss with me at a time like this. I'm only staying with Harry because he's sick. I'm sick too, I said bitterly, staring at her intently. Mary, I have severe depression. She seemed to have heard some funny joke and actually laughed out loud. Severe depression? Are you joking with me? Are you here lying to get my sympathy? You're usually so cheerful. Suddenly, my heart felt like it was being ripped open, even though I had guessed she would say that. But hearing it with my own ears made me feel so miserable. I took a step back, unable to say a word. I left the hospital, and Mary didn't come after me. I knew, between Harry and me. Her first choice was always Harry. I went to the cemetery to see my dad. Last time I came, I chattered on and on about my wedding plans, hoping to make him happy too. But this time, I couldn't say a single word, just quietly looking at the photo on the tombstone. I wonder if he hadn't passed away, would my mom not have remarried, and would I not have met that gambler? I wouldn't have been depressed, and my life would have been happy and beautiful. But reality is cruel. After seeing my dad, I went back to my hometown, to my mom and stepdad's house. Since being with Mary, I haven't gone back. Usually, if there's anything, I communicate with them over the phone. Thanks to Mary, they're doing quite well now. We moved into a house in the county town and even had a son named Charlie. When I arrived, I saw my mom holding a little boy's hand just stepping out of the apartment building. Her eyes were curved with a smile. Charlie, what do you want to eat today? Mom will take you to buy it. Or do you want to go eat KFC? The little boy clapped his hands happily. Sure, I want to eat KFC. My mom was about to respond to him, but when she looked up and saw me, the smile on her face suddenly stopped. What are you here for? I haven't been back for years. Isn't it okay to come see you, Mom? My mom reluctantly took me upstairs. That gambling stepdad of mine wasn't home. I just casually looked around the house, and on the TV cabinet was a family photo of them. There were also all kinds of toys scattered everywhere from the little boy. You can tell that their family is living quite happily. I was about to go check the room. My mom stopped me. There is no room for you here. The extra room is reserved for Charlie to use as a new house in the future. Aren't you already dating a rich girlfriend? Why not just focus on being her kept man? Why come back? When your uncle comes back later, he'll beat you again. Every word she said was like a sharp knife, tormenting my heart. I don't understand why she treats me this way. I am also her own flesh and blood. Mom, my depression has worsened. I could leave at any time. I just came to see you one last time. Before I could finish speaking, she interrupted me. Just keep pretending. All that crap about depression is just made-up nonsense. You said your condition worsened, but you're sitting here just fine, not missing an arm or a leg. Saying that, she turned her head and gently coaxed the little boy again. Charlie, be good. Mommy will take you to eat KFC soon. Mom, why do you hate me like this? I spoke bitterly. She was momentarily stunned, clearly not expecting me to ask that. Actually, I had wanted to ask this question a long time ago. Why? I also wanted to ask why. Why does she treat other people's sons well, but hates me? Because you always wear a sour face, it ruins my mood, understand? This time, I was the one stunned. After all, it's still because of my depression. I deserve to die. My mom was still talking, but I could no longer hear what she was saying, nor could I see her face. Everything before my eyes turned into a bloodthirsty demon, lunging at me. I could no longer control my emotions and stumbled out of my mom's house. When I got downstairs, the symptoms still hadn't eased. The weather was clearly bright and sunny, but to me, it was layers of dark clouds. It suffocated me, making it hard to breathe. The traffic in front of me came and went. I couldn't move forward, so I could only sit on the bench by the roadside. Then many voices appeared beside my ear. I heard my mom say, "You jinx, always dragging your face around. No wonder your uncle has bad luck playing cards." I heard my classmates say, "Did you see online that depression is fun and are just following the trend? Please, depression doesn't even exist, okay?" I heard Mary say, "Are you joking with me? Are you just lying here to get my sympathy?" The next second, I was pulled back to reality by the sound of brakes. I saw a red sports car stop in front of me. Mary, wearing a black coat, walked up to me. "Don't be mad at me anymore." Saying that, she grabbed my hand. "Let's go home." I was stunned for quite a while. Only then did I realize, this was real. Mary really came. But why did she come? Doesn't she love Harry that much? Shouldn't she be at the hospital with Harry? Why did she hurt me, and then come to find me? Suddenly, I seemed to see my mom saying that all that depression stuff is just nonsense. So I'm not depressed, I'm just in a bad mood for a while. If I just smile more, will I get better? Would that mean no more hallucinations or auditory illusions? Then I could sleep peacefully. Mary and I got in the car. I was driving, forcing a smile. She smiled and said, "George, you have to smile more like this. Only then will I be nice to you. Also, don't pretend to have depression next time, or I'll start to dislike you." After going back, Mary suddenly treated me especially well, even better than before. She would take me to pick out suits. Before, she never cared about these things and always left them to the secretary. Now she personally took me there. She said to the waiters, "Pick out the most expensive, the best suit for my husband." The waiters were all whispering, saying she was really good to me. I changed into a white suit. I accidentally saw the price, and with my current salary, I might never be able to afford it in my lifetime. I don't understand why Mary suddenly treats me so well. It makes me feel so unreal. She herself also changed into a luxurious wedding dress, linking her arm with mine as we stood in front of the mirror. The woman in the mirror wore exquisite makeup and smiled at me. "George, you look really good in a white suit." I said nothing. Because I suddenly remembered, on the day of the engagement party, Harry also wore a white suit. I suddenly seemed to understand Mary's intention in being good to me. She still treats me as a substitute. But now that Harry is back, why doesn't she go to him? Why bother entangling with me here? After buying the suit, Mary took me to the amusement park again. It's actually quite funny. This is my first time at an amusement park. Before, it was because I didn't have money. Now, it's because I found it boring. So I had never been, except for today. Watching those young couples holding hands, I was lost in thought. Mary suddenly kissed my cheek, and the camera clicked, capturing the moment. She smiled brightly. George, look how happy we are like this. I looked at the photo in the camera. We did look quite happy. But were we truly happy? She took me to buy cotton candy again, and there happened to be a challenge here. Couples who share a cotton candy and take enough photos for a 9-grid post can get a little teddy bear. Mary seemed to really like it, pulling my hand and acting cute. George, let's go too. After saying that, she pulled me along. I was forcibly added to this challenge. We were photographed a lot by the photographer. He couldn't help but praise. Truly a perfect match of talent and beauty. It's just that the male lead should smile a bit more. But you still completed the challenge. Go to the rabbit doll at the front desk to claim your prize. Mary didn't pay much attention to his words and was busy picking up the little teddy bear. The front desk had a rabbit doll, and after giving Mary the cloth doll, it asked if we wanted a photo. I was about to ask Mary when I noticed she had already walked outside. I could only take the initiative and added the rabbit plushie's WeChat, asking it to send me the photos. In the end, Mary and I went to the Ferris wheel. I had heard the legend of the Ferris wheel. It is said that if a couple kisses at the top of the Ferris wheel, they will be together forever. But I never made that request. I used to like Mary very much. Even if she treated me as a substitute, I still liked her silently. I believed that one day I would be able to move her. But I was wrong. After all, sincerity is rare and scarce, and love is like walking on thin ice. But I didn't expect that when we were about to reach the top of the Ferris wheel, Mary suddenly brought up this idea. When we reach the top, let's share a kiss, take a photo, and our love will last forever. George, do you love me? Actually, I really wanted to ask her if she had loved me during these 4 years. In the end, I didn't ask. I just gently nodded to her and said nothing more. I watched the scenery outside the window slowly rising to the top. But suddenly, the power went out. The Ferris wheel also got stuck halfway up. Mary's expression stiffened. My heart suddenly skipped a beat. It seems, she and I really are not destined to be. Because I got stuck in midair and lost time. So when Mary and I got home, it was already quite late. I took the initiative to cook for her. But she stopped me, smiling at me. After all, I'm your fiancé now, and I haven't cooked for you yet. What do you want to eat? I'll make it for you. I was very surprised, because she had never cooked for me before. Can you cook? She said confidently. Of course. I thought she would at most cook a bowl of noodles, but I didn't expect her to make several dishes. Looking at the table full of food, I was surprised once again. I had always thought she couldn't cook. Perhaps she saw through my thoughts. I've always cooked, so how about I often cook for you from now on? Okay. I ate the food she made for me bite by bite. None of the dishes were to my taste. I guess she probably doesn't know my preferences, so I forced myself to eat it. Suddenly, it started snowing heavily outside. Mary and I finished eating and tidied up the dishes when suddenly the doorbell rang. The visitors seemed to be in a hurry. The doorbell kept ringing. Mary frowned, put down her bowl and chopsticks, and opened the door. Harry was wearing thin clothes, covered in snowflakes. His face was even paler, making people involuntarily feel sorry for him. What are you here for? Mary's voice was very calm. But Harry was not calm. He burst into the room, his eyes red, his body trembling slightly, and showed Mary his phone. The photos you posted on Weibo were deliberately meant to make me come, weren't they? 4 years, Mary, and you're still the same. The restaurant wasn't far from where they were, and the contents on Harry's phone were clearly in my sight. They were all photos of Mary and me hanging out during the day. So, she's suddenly treating me so well. Is it just because she wants to annoy Harry? Mary looked up at Harry. I'm just sharing the daily life between my husband and me. If there's nothing else, please leave. Saying that, she was pushing Harry. Suddenly, with a bang, Harry knelt straight down in front of her, a few tears fiercely hitting the floor. The scene was just like a drama. Mary, are you going to die if you lower your head? You didn't send a WeChat message, but a Weibo post. Isn't it just because you want me to see it? You know very well that you're the only one I follow on Weibo. You just want me to come to you and bow my head. Mary pushed his hand down and just quietly listened to him. If that's what you think, then I'll tell you. You've succeeded. Do you know how painful it was for me to see those photos? My heart almost broke. Before, when you told me you were getting married, I hurried back in a rush too. Mary, don't you understand yet? I love you, I really love you. Even abroad, I think about you every moment. I want so much to come back to find you, but I'm afraid you'll push me away harshly. I don't dare to look for you." His tears grew more and more, and suddenly he looked at me. "I've said all I can say. After this, I will leave and never come back." Saying that, he stood up and walked out the door. Snow mixed with strong wind hit him, making him look so pitiful. Mary suddenly rushed out. I stepped forward and saw Mary tightly hugging him, her voice trembling with tears. "I love you, and I love you too." Then the two of them embraced and kissed. On a night when snow was falling heavily, it was so romantic. I suddenly heard a faint cracking sound. It turned out to be my heart, finally breaking. My stomach was also churning violently, a wave of nausea rising to my mouth. I vomited unexpectedly all over the place. I threw up all the food I had just eaten. Looking out again, they had stopped kissing and were just holding each other tightly. Harry looked over with a triumphant expression. It was as if he was telling me that he would always be the winner. I watched his expression slowly merge with the way he used to bully me. The warm light in the living room suddenly turned black and white. A little voice in my mind screamed wildly, "Go die, go die." I can't. I desperately tried to think this way, frantically saving myself. I knew I couldn't stay any longer, or I would really die. So I hurriedly left through the back door, falling several times along the way. The icy snow seeped into my skin, but I didn't feel any pain at all. I seemed to have become numb. I lay in the snow, my mind filled with thoughts of how to die. In this world, no one loves me anymore. My dad is dead, my mom hates me, and the person I love the most doesn't love me back. Who else is more miserable than me? I should die? No, I should have died a long time ago. I saw the tall building ahead. It seemed to be calling me, telling me to go over and jump from the top floor. I struggled to get up, wanting to go over. Suddenly, my phone vibrated. I opened it and found a WeChat message from the rabbit doll from before. Its profile picture is an anime little rabbit. It sent me 9 photos of Mary and me from before. I flipped through them one by one. They were all photos of Mary and me eating cotton candy during the day. How happy we are inside. She smiled and kissed my face, then rested her head on my shoulder and placed a cotton candy on top of my head. She said this was my cotton candy hat. The rabbit plush also came with a phrase, "No matter what, as long as you live, there is hope." Tears slipped down my face unexpectedly, but I can no longer go on living. I deserve to die. Everyone hates me. Everyone despises me. No one treats me sincerely. I am just a waste. At this moment, the heavy snow stopped, and the last snowflake fell on my phone screen. Then it melted into clear water. The world seemed to have quieted down. The desire to die grew even stronger. I still went up to the rooftop of that tall building. The strong wind howled here, and I looked down at the myriad lights of countless homes, but not a single light was left for me. I closed my eyes, ready to embrace death. Suddenly, someone grabbed me hard, and I fell to the ground. "Young man, life is still very beautiful. Don't think negatively." Good thing I came up to collect the shoes. It was really scary. My heart almost jumped out just now. You young people have a lot of pressure. Annie knows that too. But you only have one life. You have to cherish it. A middle-aged lady sat next to me, chattering nonstop. Even a stranger was this worried about me. I lay on the ground looking at the night, unable to say a word. The lady pulled me up and carefully brushed the dust off my clothes. Then she gave me a hug. "Live well. You're still so young." Saying that, she picked up her shoes and was about to leave, but feeling uneasy, she still offered to see me downstairs. After we got downstairs, she said, "I'm still in the late stage of cancer. I never thought about dying. You have to live well." After saying that, she went upstairs. My heart was deeply moved. Should I really live? At this moment, I noticed my phone buzzing. When I opened it, I saw that all the messages were from that rabbit doll on WeChat. "Are you still there? Why aren't you replying to me? Where did you go?" Let me tell you a cold joke. One day a patient had surgery, then the doctor came out and said the surgery was very successful, but the patient died. Haha, funny right? Please reply to me. If possible, I can be your emotional sounding board. Once you see this, just tell me all your sad stories. I carefully read through the WeChat message it sent me. I don't know who it is, why it cares about me like this, or how it knows I'm about to do something foolish. But my intuition tells me it is trustworthy. Maybe it's because the frustration and repression in my heart have been bottled up for too long with no one to talk to. I sent a WeChat message to such a stranger. I feel that life is meaningless. Everyone hates me. The other person replied to me quickly. I don't hate you. How about I be your good friend? I replied, don't get close to me. I'm a bad luck charm. You'll become unlucky. My mom says the same thing. The little bunny doll is very stubborn. You really have such a feudal mindset, talking about being a broom star and all. Can science explain that? Those are just excuses made up by people who dislike you. Anyway, I don't dislike you, so I have to be your good friend. When I saw this, I was touched inside. I replied with a thank you, which was also an acknowledgement of it becoming my friend. After turning off my phone, I didn't know where I should go. Looking at the brightly lit shops on the street, I wanted to take a walk, but it was as if someone was holding onto my legs, and I couldn't move forward a single step. The scene before my eyes also began to grow dim. The feeling of tightness in my chest came again. I couldn't breathe, and I wanted to take medicine. But I didn't bring any medicine. My ears were buzzing. I couldn't hear what others were saying, and I couldn't speak either. My condition was actually this serious. I had no choice but to sleep under the bridge. But I couldn't fall asleep. My head hurt. My heart ached. My whole body was in pain. I was tossing and turning in discomfort. I don't know how much time had passed before I woke up to the sunlight. I survived yesterday, the hardest day. My phone vibrated once. Little bunny doll. Good morning. The weather is great today, and my mood is fantastic. Did you sleep well last night? This morning on the bus, an older lady pushed me, so I said I had cancer. As a result, a group of people treated me with great respect. It made me laugh. I really envy her for having such a good attitude. I came out from under the bridge and went to borrow a power bank. Then I went to the unmanned supermarket to buy some food to stave off hunger. The little rabbit doll sent a message on WeChat again. Great, you know to eat now. Rewarding you with a little star. It seemed to be right beside me. I looked around, but saw nothing. Don't look for me. I am you. I will always protect you. This sentence suddenly brightened the scene before my eyes. I happily walked out and looked around. Bright flowers, green willow leaves, and the blue sky. My chest felt much more at ease. But this feeling didn't last for many days before Mary suddenly found me. My world darkened again. She asked me to go back and marry her. George, I was too impulsive that day. After you left, the person I kept thinking about was you. I realized that I had fallen in love with you long ago. As for Harry, I just had a first love complex. Will you come back with me? I won't contact him anymore. Her face was full of remorse, and her eyes were red. She said as long as I come back, she would do anything. She said she could take me to other cities, far away from Harry. She seemed to truly believe she was wrong. But I don't want to forgive her. Thinking back to the scene that day, I felt so disgusted. When she wanted me, I had to stay by her side like a dog. When she didn't want me, she kicked me far away. She never considered me. I'm a person too. For years, I've really had enough. I tried to speak up. I can't marry you. Mary shook her head crying, hugging me tightly. George, please don't treat me like this. I really know I was wrong. So disgusting. The smell on her was disgusting. Her breath was disgusting. Even a single strand of her hair touching me made me feel so sick. I pushed her away hard, causing her to fall to the ground. She looked at me in disbelief. George, get lost. Get lost. I really can't stand it anymore. It's so disgusting. I ran away. Mary chased after me desperately, calling my name. She begged me not to leave. I didn't look back and kept running, afraid she would catch up to me. In the end, she said no matter where I was, she could find me, and she was determined to marry me. I was so scared, I didn't want to go back with her. I sent a WeChat message to the little rabbit doll. A demon is after me. I have to run away. She replied instantly. Then let's run away together, to the most beautiful place in the world. The little rabbit doll was waiting for me on the train, and we went to Lessa together. She sat by the window, sporting a boy's hairstyle, but her face clearly showed she was a girl. Her smile was like a coquettish cat's, her eyes shining like stars, beautiful like the deepest flame in the darkness. She said her last name was also George, and her name was Quinn. She kept talking to me all the way. George, let's go to Nakjan Mountain. You can hang prayer flags there. I want to pray for you, so that everything goes smoothly and safely for you in the future. I really wanted to ask who she was, but I didn't. At this moment, I didn't care about anything. Whether she was a bad person or a good person, as long as she could accompany me through the last stretch of the journey, it was enough. I smiled and agreed to her. We went to Nugent Mountain together, and along the way, many people dressed in Tibetan clothes would kneel and bow every few steps. Their hands and faces were very dirty, but it was clear that they were people with pure hearts. I heard they were praying for world peace, for all living beings to be free from unwarranted disasters. With every step they took, there was me and Quinn. Quinn and I both laughed, facing the wind and sunshine of Mount Nakin. We climbed step by step to the very top. Quinn and I, at 4,000 meters above sea level on Mount Nakin, each tied a 100-meter prayer flag and scattered ronda. We were both praying for blessings for ourselves. Although we have known each other for a short time, we are the best of best friends. George, every time the prayer flags flutter in the wind, it's a blessing for you. You have to take good care of yourself from now on. I looked at her, my eyes stinging and swollen. But even after doing all these things, I still can't drive away the demons in my heart. I still want to die so badly. At night, Quinn and I stayed at a local guest house. The owner wanted us to book one room, but I said, men and women are different. We definitely need 2 rooms. When I said that, the owner looked at me strangely, but in the end, he still gave me 2 rooms. I saw Quinn into her room, and before she closed the door, she smiled at me. George, take your time to get better. Consider it me begging you. I forced a smile and said okay. After seeing her close the door, my smile faded. I'm just a useless person. I can't drag Quinn down anymore. She has already done enough by staying with me. Although that aunt and she both told me I must stay alive. But for me, living is just torture. I quietly left. I went to Nugent Mountain, where the temperature difference between night and day is huge, and the nights at Nugent Mountain are especially cold. Before going up, I glanced at my phone. There were many WeChat messages. From my mom, Mary, and a text from an unknown number. Mary said, George, where have you gone? Please come back, okay? I'm begging you. I really know I was wrong. My mom said, you better come back quickly. Ms. Mary has been looking for you. Stop sulking all day and making Ms. Mary unhappy. I'm still counting on you to save money for your brother's bride price. An unknown number said, are you feeling proud now, finally moving up in the world? Mary successfully fell in love with you, but so what? She has already belonged to me. Don't get mad after reading this. He attached several photos, all of which were explicit pictures of Harry and Mary together. I was so disgusted that I smashed my phone violently. My body was no longer under my control, as if someone was guiding me to climb to the very top of Mount Nugent, then jump off and die from the fall. That would be so good. To die in such a beautiful place, it would be worth it. The higher I went, the colder it became, and heavy snow began to fall. The night was very dark, and I could only move forward bit by bit relying on the light of my flashlight. In the end, I had no strength left and collapsed on the ground due to altitude sickness. I thought, I might as well freeze to death here. So I let the snowflakes and cold wind hit my body, slowly closing my eyes. I could finally be free. I don't know how much time had passed, but it seemed like someone was shaking me. Wake up, wake up. I struggled to open my eyes and saw it was Quinn, her face full of panic. George, please don't die. I'm begging you, okay? Didn't you promise me? She said as she carried me on her back. But she's a girl. How could she carry me? My whole body was numb from the cold, and I tried to speak. Don't save me. Just go quickly. But she was very stubborn. You have to survive. She repeated this sentence over and over again. I cried. Why did you save me? Why save a useless person? The world can still go on without me. The snow was falling even heavier, and with the sky darkening, we got lost. But Quinn didn't stop. He kept moving forward with me on his back. George, is your world always like this? Dark and cold. There is not a bit of light. Yes, that's right. I wanted to speak, but I couldn't say anything. My eyelids grew heavier and heavier. Before finally losing consciousness, I heard Quinn say, you have to live. Let me tell you a secret. I left a message for you on the prayer flags. When I woke up again, I was in the local hospital. You're finally awake, George. Mary grabbed my hand, her eyes full of joy. My mom also rushed over, crying and shouting, son, I'm sorry, I didn't know you really had depression." They kept talking. But I pulled out the needle and tried to get out of bed. "Where's Quinn?" Mary grabbed me firmly. "What Quinn? You were unconscious halfway up Mount Nakin. It was the guest house owner who saved you, and you were alone." Her words exploded in my mind like a bomb. "Quinn is that girl with short hair and big eyes." I cried out loud, but they all looked at me blankly, saying there was no one named Quinn. I realized that suddenly, I couldn't recall what Quinn looked like in my mind either. George Extra Chapter 3 years later. Mr. George, Mary and Harry are both dead. According to your plan, we ruined Harry's family company. His parents couldn't take it and committed suicide, and as for Harry, we hired people to torment him every day. He had no choice but to keep pestering Mary. Mary got fed up and arranged for him to be framed with a crime, hoping to get him arrested by the police. But who would have known? Harry hid away, found Mary to take revenge, stabbed her to death with a knife, and was sentenced to death himself. The secretary kept talking about these things beside George. George expressionlessly fiddled with his watch. All right, it's all over. He had been preparing for 3 years, all to wait for this day to take revenge. After he was rescued back then, he went to find the attending doctor. The attending doctor told him that Quinn was a figment of his imagination because he was so desperate for redemption. And the rabbit doll in his WeChat was just sending him photos, without any messages. Quinn never existed from beginning to end, but he remembered the things Quinn said to him in his fantasies. He decided to take revenge, spent 3 years on treatment, and at the same time pretended to reconcile with Mary. He used her money to start a company and worked overtime every day just to get the company up and running. Finally, the day came, and he took his revenge. George went to the top of Mount Nakin and searched for a very long time. Only then did he find the 2 prayer flags he had once hung. On one of the prayer flags was written, "I am you, George. Stop fantasizing that someone can protect you. You need to learn to protect yourself."